A timeless tarot reading for those who have the sun sign of Capricorn. So, welcome. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I'm Gigi, and I'm known affectionately as the Groovy Brown Goddess. And we're here to dig into some powerful messages for the sun sign of Capricorn. Now, what is a timeless reading for those who may not be familiar? That means anytime Spirit has led you to this message, it is the right time for you to hear it and to apply its lessons. So let's dig deep into Capricorn. Capricorn, Spirit, I asked you for messages for my Capricorns. All right, first up, we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is talking here about Capricorn. It's time for you to rest in many respects. Now, that can be physical rest, but what I'm getting more specifically is you also really need to find ways to refresh yourself mentally. And that's the more important rest that you need at this time. So that can come through, yes, physically laying down and resting, but it also can come and through meditation or mindfulness practices. And these are very important for you because you've really been burning the candle at both ends. And many of you are feeling very frazzled. So it is really important that you take your rest and that you refresh yourself, renew yourself. And from that, I see a lot of new ideas coming in that will help you. And in fact, many of you have been looking around and saying, "What else can I do?" And you feel a little lost. The ideas that you are waiting for are on the other side of that mental rest. And those ideas will help you to move forward and make large strides. But you got to commit to taking some downtime and taking care of yourself. So that's what we have with the Four of Swords. We also now have the King of Swords coming up. And the King of Swords is talking about your desire to have mastery over your current situation and the ways in which you have been called upon to be the leader. And this feels very much like a situation where you've been thrust into a leadership position where possibly you may not have wanted to be in that leadership position, but you were either thrust there by someone else or because the situation called for a leader and you showed up. So this is contributing to that feeling of having to have, burn your candle at both ends, and is contributing to the need for you to just slow down a little bit. So just think about all that you have accomplished, because while it may feel for many of you like you're treading water, you really haven't been treading water. You've been making strides. You've been moving forward. And if you could see it the way that outsiders see it, you would realize that. But for you, it's not up to the level of perfection that you would like. And therefore, you're dismissing a lot of your accomplishments. So just slow down, give yourself some grace, and really give yourself credit first and foremost. Okay, so our next is the Magician in the reverse. And the Magician in the reverse is telling me again, not only your viewpoint about, I haven't reached the perfection or I haven't reached the sense of accomplishment that I want to feel here. It's also telling me that you are getting down on yourself for cutting corners and doing things in your mind in a haphazard fashion. So, again, I feel very strongly as I'm saying all of this whole mental rest that we talked about with the Four of Swords is so key. And each one of these cards, including this magician cards, has swords in them. And so it's all about your thought process. It's all about your mental state. And here it's about really taking care of that mental state, taking care of that mental health so that you can be at your best. And it is about undoing the negative thinking. So if you're viewing your situation negatively, you're going to be impacted because that's going to reflect in your daily feelings day to day and how things are moving along. Next up, we have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. And again, all these cards are screaming that you are feeling some sort of imbalance. But here, with this Two of Pentacles in the reverse, there's a person in this card, and when it's in the upright, they're on a tightrope, and I feel here that we're talking about someone other than you, someone close to you. And in a relationship type situation, we're talking about the lack of balance in that situation, throwing you off. And examining, is this the right situation for you truly? Like sometimes we're in love with a situation, or we have strong feelings towards someone because of an ideal that we have built up in our mind. Not that the rest of our feelings for them isn't real, it's just that in our mind we have them on a type of pedestal, so to speak. And because of that, we view them through a certain lens. Well, this is talking about looking at this person for who they really are. Take away the lens, which can be a very difficult thing to do, and really look at who they are and what they're presenting to you, because I feel like many of you will end up realizing they're not really giving me what I need at all. They're not really holding up their end of the bargain. And they're not really good for me, even though I'm in love with the idea of being in love with them. So that's what this Two of Pentacles in the reverse is getting at. And until you realize that with the Six of Wands in the reverse, you're really shooting yourself in the foot, so to speak, because you're not able to move towards those goals relationship wise. We've broken into relationship field here in our reading, but you're not really able to move in any kind of systematic, any kind of planned out, any kind of thorough way towards what you want. So again, it all ties back to the mental rest that you need, because you're not seeing things clearly and you really need to see things clearly. I feel very strongly, Capricorn, that this person is doing things not only to the detriment of the relationship, because I feel like many of you are you're honestly in a situation where it feels like the person that you're with is working against you and everything that you stand for. And it's very clear here that they are. But you need to really take full recognition of that and deal with that situation for what it is, and not allow maybe feelings of the past to influence what's going on right now. So for example, when you first get into a relationship and you're in those beginning phases, and it's kind of like a honeymoon period where everything is so beautiful, everything's so right. And then when things start to slip, or the honeymoon's over, so to speak, you're constantly looking at, man, how can we get back to where we were up front? How can we get back to those days? How can we get back to those good times? That's how this situation feels. And what Spirit is saying to you very strongly, Capricorn, is this person is now presented who they really are and what role they intend to play in your life and how they intend to affect you, or how they intend to manage you is the word coming to mind. And you need to take note of that, because there's no going back to that honeymoon period. We are where we are. We're where we are in this situation, and this is where it's going. And now you need to really take a stone cold look at reality. That stepping back into that place of rest mentally is going to help you take off those rose colored glasses and really see things for where they are, and give you the mental and emotional strength to do what you need to do for what's best for you. Okay, so moving forward, we have the Ace of Pentacles showing up here, and that's about growth. And yes, for many of you, things just feel out of control right now, like out of control in a way that you can't take. And what this Ace of Pentacles shows up to tell you is Spirit saying you're on the other side of that. So, for example, things can be running completely out of control, and then you start to head down a better path. But for a while, you're still feeling a lot of out of the control elements. And that's what Spirit's saying here. Like, you're on the other side of the big breakdowns. There's still damage to assess, there's still damage to repair, but with the Ace of Pentacles, it's totally within your power to do so. And as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, not distracting yourself, not allowing others to distract you, and not being dishonest with yourself about what the situation is and the players involved, if you stay honest within yourself about that, you'll head down this path towards repair, even just a path of, as you can see in this Ace of Pentacle card, there's a lot of growth there. There's like, it looks like springtime in a garden, and springtime's a time of renewal. So you'll be able to step into that type of energy and really get towards, take big strides towards your goals. I don't know why my words are just all of a sudden messed it up on me, but that's what it is. And everything means something in a reading. So at the end of the day, what Spirit's saying to you, Capricorn, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. And whether you get to the end of the tunnel and reach that light is clearly up to how well you're going to take care of yourself in this moment, how you're going to mentally and emotionally decompress, and then how you're going to hold others accountable, and you're going to make moves with others. And by others, in this case, I'm feeling like this is really relationship oriented. You're going to make moves, hold that person accountable, and not stand for the BS any longer. Look at the situation for what it clearly is and put one foot in front of the other and do what's best for you. That will lead you into like this. I keep looking at this Ace of Pentacles and hearing Garden of Eden. It'll lead you into this Garden of Eden type of energy where everything's available to you. The things and the one that you really can vibe with, that you really can build with, that type of energy where they can come in for you. Okay? Don't be afraid to hear that. Don't be afraid to move towards that. And I wish you all the best. This has been your timeless reading, Capricorn. Blessings.